So, hello everyone and welcome back to Hemel-Down Model Railway. It's been a little while since I've posted a video with me actually talking in it. All I've really seemed to have posted is just a few trains running. Been reviewing some of my videos back and looking at the running sessions and seeing the trains sort of jumping and bits and pieces. I've decided I'm going to overhaul all my track. So this section here that you can see is about sort of 2.5 foot. It does sort of go all the way at the back. You can see the chaos behind it. So what I'm deciding to do is I'm going to rip this section out here. So from the join, I'm going to take this part out. I'm then going to add in another 2.5 foot section in width. So coming across this way be 2.5 foot wide, but then coming from the wall back towards me is going to be about 6.5 foot. And then what I'm going to do is extend the 2.5 foot wide by using that bridge. So that will make it about 3.5 foot. So that part of the bridge there will have like a little walkway. So where this line is here, I'll be able to sort of squeeze in between there. And then coming out, excuse all the mess, coming out down the side here up to this part will be another part of the train track and board, and then it will join up over on this side with another little bridge, or maybe just a sort of plank of wood. Reason for the extension is just one, to make it a little bit bigger, but I realised that there's so many sort of like curves and bends and stuff that my trains are just really not handling how the trains are going around the track. It would be nicer to have another sort of flat piece that, like I do at the back here, to be able to add in my station and stuff. So what I'm going to do is completely overhaul the track. I'm going to lay it down a little bit more properly. You've probably noticed all too well that on my videos that you can see bits and pieces propping up the track because the boards are quite uneven. You can see under here that I'm using bits of bridges, card and wood and stuff to keep it all flat. Same within the corner there, you can see how much cork I've had to use just to try and get the track a little bit straight. So it all like dips and bits and pieces, and I think that's one of the biggest reasons for all my trains derailing. So this sort of Stonehenge area will not exist anymore. This will be this board, once it's extended out, will actually be a train station. So it will come off a curve here and have a train station that comes sort of all the way down the back, and then I'll probably have like some fiddle yard bits and pieces in there, depending on how much track I can actually use, or how much space I've got to use for the tracks, would I say, sorry. So yeah, that's going to be my big project. Got massive tidying up to do. All under here you can see all my boxes and things that I've tried and they've not really worked. So I'm going to have a massive tidy up. I've got a chair propping up this. Doesn't look like a chair, but it's actually a gaming chair that folds, like the top folds down, and I've used that to hold this board in there with some of those trampoline legs underneath on bricks. So I'm going to replace all that. I found a sort of sturdy frame in the shed that I've just been clearing out today, so I'm going to replace it with that, and then above me, garage, above the door in the garage, there's a big wooden door, so I'm going to use that. So I think that's, I haven't measured it, but I'm sure it's about 2.5, 3 foot wide, and then about 6.5 foot in height. So I'm going to use that to put the track down, for the track, sorry. Yeah, I'm a little bit sad to see some of this go. It's been quite a nice little area, but you know, it's not the best. It doesn't look prototypical or anything like that, which I'm fully aware of. But I'm thinking that if I, you know, properly lay some cork down, I've got some roofing felt as well that I'll put over the top of the cork, just to sort of give it a little bit of colour and stuff. And then I'm hoping that if I sort of screw or tack the track down, I'm going to work with a spirit level and see if I can make sure that I get it as even as possible. I'm going to replace a lot of the fish plates on some of the joins and stuff as well, because they look really tacky. But yeah, it's just a bit of a mess, and you know, for videoing purposes and stuff, I'm having a right old nightmare of being able to actually video anything without them falling off. And I want to do a few more live streams and have a few more different camera angles for you guys to see. I will upload this video along with sort of a few clips of how it's progressing and a little bit of an update, so it will be quite a lengthy video. And then later on this week I'll be adding in me trying to get, you know, the track laid down properly and stuff like that. It's not going to be a how-to or anything, because you guys are probably better at it than me, as you can tell by this example. But you know, I just want to show a bit of progress and stuff. There's no house move on the horizon just yet, but I'm obviously not making it permanent. It still will be that I can lift it off quite quickly. But yeah, it's just give me a bit of better train running really, which will help me with my videos and help the channel as well. And then hopefully it's a little bit more entertainment for you guys to see something a little bit different, rather than just me trying to run the same train around the track and stuff. It would be nice to see a few different shots. Anyway, just want to say a massive thank you to all the new subscribers that have joined me lately. It's been a bit up and down. I've had some, and then I've lost some, and then I've gained some, but I just want to say a massive thank you to all those that have stuck with me. I mean, I've only been doing this channel sort of 3 months, but I've got to about 126, which is absolutely massive. And you know, so there's a few of you guys that just put some really fantastic comments on there, and it really, you know, encourages me to keep going, even when some days I am really frustrated. But I'm loving the whole sort of model railway, you know, community. I watch some really great live streams and try and get involved with them and meeting new people and stuff. So yeah, anyway, I'm gonna stop rambling, otherwise I'm never gonna get all this mess cleared up. I'm gonna have to like box it up and stuff. I'm gonna keep the majority of this track on there. It will just be that I'm taking off, you know, this section over here. And then once it's all cleared and put down and stuff, then I can start moving in the new framework and new boards. So stay tuned to the end of the video and you'll see a little bit of the progress. And then, like I say, towards the end of the week, I'll be adding in some of the track and hopefully get my trains back running. Take care everyone, and speak to you all soon. Bye for now. So this is just part of it being cleared, and as you can see how much stuff I had to use underneath the tracks, but also I don't know if you can see right there, that's how much it's like bent and stuff. And then I've tried to use this board underneath to try and keep it flat, but they've started sinking as well. If I move a little bit further, you can see how much it like moves. So like any weight on it, I mean, I'm not even pressing very hard, you can see how much it all like moves against the wall. So yeah, definitely I think replacing this part will be massive, and then I'm not wasting sort of nearly a foot there in space. So it will be brought almost as close to that pillar, so then going down to the back end of the garage, so where I'm stood about now, that would be the space that then goes right down to the back. So yeah, I think that'll be much better. I'm not sure what will happen with this curve here. Maybe because there'll be a little bridge coming off this section, that I could use that curve in that corner instead. a little bit undecided yet. The main part of it is just ripping this broken bit out here. So as you can see there, that's where the bridge was, and you can see how much it's dipped. It's pretty shocking, really. This is what happens when you bodge up baseboards, but like I said, this was all just to basically get the trains running and stuff. I wasn't spending any money, and I'm still not spending any money. I'm just trying to replace the dodgy work that I did do before. So that was, or this is, what was underneath my board, holding the boards up. And then, as you can see, that was my rather comfy man chair that was holding the back end of the baseboard up. So from there, it stretched over to that part. So I'm going to clean all this out and then add the frame in. So this will be the new frame where the door will go on. I've measured it and it's pretty much the same. So it, as you can see, it is on wheels at the moment. But what I will do is just flip it on its side, because then this width here would be about the same height with the door on top as my other table, and then I shouldn't have to be sort of leveling it off too much. So yeah, this will be the next bit to install in the garage, and then because it's like open framed and stuff, I can have like my storage stuff underneath it, so it will be quite handy. Needs a bit of cleaning up. I've got some of these bits of wood and stuff like that to chip off and stuff like that, and take the bolts out and stuff. But once that's done, I think that's going to be a lot more sturdy, especially with that centre support. And then looking at the garage, I think the door that I found above the garage door, it looks like it's quite a solid oak, really old door. So I'm hoping it's still quite straight and stuff, and then that will just sit nicely on top, because it will be able to take the weight. So hopefully the next part of the video you will see that installed. So this is the part installed. So as you can see, I turn it up on its side, and then what I'll have is like this bridge piece over there, and then a section in the middle where I can stand, and then either another bridge there or a piece of wood that will then join to that backboard, and then the door will go over this section, which will then become like my station and fiddle yard area, and then it will loop back round and join up into that corner. Might bring this corner in a little bit and just sort of box it off a bit, but we're almost to the halfway point of the garage. So you imagine this size of the garage, as you can see, I've still got another section there, but as you can see here, I'm packing up to move house, so the rest of the garage is all going to be storage boxes and stuff. So a bit out of breath trying to move all this frame and stuff, but I hope you sort of can see a little bit of the progress, and let me know in the comments if you think it's going to be quite a good addition. Like I say, I think running session wise, having something a lot more at the back here, the camera angles will be much better, and then if I drop down some of these boxes, because they're stacked up quite high to the garage door here, it should let some natural light in, which will be better during the days when I'm making a video. I tried to fix one of the lights above there, but it's actually broken, so what I'm going to do is just add in some lamps and stuff, because reviewing some of the videos back, they look quite dark and stuff. So yeah, next part will be getting the door on. So this is it with the second board installed. Bit of a tatty old door. Like I say, it was on top of the garage door for ages. I'm going to give it a bit of a clean down and a sand down and stuff. It's all going to be painted anyway, so you're not really going to see it. So that's the like bridge gap, and then like the walkway, and then over to the second half of the layout, and then that clutter will be cleared, and then you'll see that whole bridge off. There's not too much of a gap this end, so what I might do is just, depending on the curve coming out, is bring it up sort of at a slight angle and then join back into that loop there. I think looking from here you can see it adds quite a bit of length to the garage, so it should be quite a nice little sort of station area, and then some the back scene and stuff, you know, like this bridge, and it's not quite square but it's almost there. That bridge, nice little bit of back scene on it and stuff, and a little bit of a support underneath, and that should have worked quite nicely. And then this was the corner of the track for where my two parts went to the bridge along that back piece anyway. So I'm going to tidy all that up, start laying some track properly, test it, and just keep testing so it's all smooth and propped up in pieces where it needs to be, because this corner still, as you can see, it's like quite broken in the corner. That was where I've just used like cardboard to support that, so I'm going to refix that corner. But this is really sturdy. I mean, I'm knocking it and stuff and it's not moving anywhere, so and it's pretty flat. It's got a little bend to it, and if you can see against the back wall there, it sort of slopes down ever so slightly, but that's because my garage goes down on a slope. But I mean, with the trains going down that line, it shouldn't be too much of a problem. It will just be a slight incline, but I don't think it's going to be anything much. So this is just a quick mock-up of the section that I've added in. I'm just putting some track down just to kind of see. After ripping it all up, I was kind of like, oh no, am I going to actually have enough track to be able to complete the section? But it seems that I do have just about enough. I've got a load of old track sort of kicking it around in the middle here, so I'm going to get all that cleaned up and see if any of that's usable. But just looking at it here, so I'm still going to keep the twin track. I'm just going to sort that corner out like I said before. So it will stem down here. I've hidden the power sources or the connectors for the tracks just in this bit, so I'm hoping that you won't notice them too much in a running session if we do any like bridge shots and stuff. And then so it kind of branches round, then leads up into what will be the station area. I'll just drop in down in between the middle of the thing so you can get a bit of a close up. So trains will come down this way. I'll then be able to add another one of those up on that corner so I can finish that off, or even make it so that it sort of stretches around the corner end a little bit. And then we've got a couple of sets of points so I can switch over to the middle rail there. And then coming off this section here, I'll be able to sort of reverse my trains up, or ideally if I had a turntable that would be good, but I don't, so I'm just going to have a little bit where I can bring up a loco, and then there'll be like some carriages and trucks and stuff once I build up my collection that are all sitting here. So rather than all this big mess of carriages and stuff up in that section, I will have them on now this board, and then this section is where I can do my buildings and any work that I want to do. When I'm doing my videos, I can have it all on this board, and then start adding in a little bit of scenery. What I was thinking of doing is maybe making some like little dioramas on boards and then having them in this middle section, because then I can, when I move, I can then lift them off and then add them into the new layout. And because I don't know what space I've got, so if I just make some small little boards, then yeah, I can add them wherever I need to, or get rid of them if I can't use them. So yeah, that's the progress so far. Undecided yet where I'll put all this back seam. Once it's straightened out and stuff, it doesn't look so rippled, but you can see it has rippled a little bit there. But it's just because the card's bended. So I might add that at the back here, so you're not seeing all of my masses of boxes. Yeah, so I might add that all along the back here just to sort of tidy that up. And then the station view will look a little bit better. Not just looking at a load of old boxes. So I'm gonna add a little bit of cork down and stuff like that next. Connect some track up, clean it all down. Still yet to clean this board down, got overexcited and started putting track down. But I just needed to mock up and make sure that once I ripped it out, I did actually have enough. I was panicking. I didn't have enough. I'm taking a bit of a chance as well, getting rid of that that other section, but it'd seen better days. It lasted a couple of months. Now it's actually no good. I needed something a little bit more secure. Right, so I'll keep updating you with the progress in the next series of videos. So I hope you enjoy seeing what's happening next, and that it's interesting for you. If you've got any comments or maybe some track plans or track ideas, or you do like it, or even if you don't like it, please let me know. All feedback is welcome. Right, I'll speak to you all again soon. Bye for now. So just a bit of a test on the track to see if I've got it in the right place, to make sure there's no big dips and stuff. Goes uphill slightly on that side and then sort of down a little bit on there. So as you can see, so I've got a bridge here that I will sort out all underneath. Kind of holds that part of the track in. Here it's a little bit raised, you can see it like flips down and stuff, so I can actually pin it into a little bit of the board underneath, so that will then straighten that out. It seems to be quite sort of smooth running up to that section. So yeah, getting there, and then make sure I've got the cork all underneath and stuff. So this is this section just mocked up. I just added in my existing back seam just to kind of cover that bridge area there, which now stretches along that back wall. So I'm thinking with like camera shot wise and stuff, if I make sure that I tidy up a lot more of that back seam, just like the sky where it's just rippled a bit. Now adding in sort of from a station view, you get to see quite a nice sort of sweeping part of the layout. We'll just move some of these boxes and bits, and I'll stop making you feel so sick and bring you back down. So this is where the station is. It kind of loops round over to the bridge and then back into that existing corner there. I've secured all that piece of track down. I'm just going to tidy up all the cork and stuff and then lay some more cork under here once I've cleaned this top. But as you can see, I think it looks a little bit better with some camera angles and stuff. I'll be able to get some shots over the bridge and then sort of pulling up into a station area, and I can actually stop the trains and bits and pieces here. So yeah, hope you agree, looks a little bit better. So this is the view from standing behind the new board, or about a foot away from the board. This is kind of the view of the layout and how big it's increased. I mean, to be honest, all it's really given me is this flat section in here, which is what I actually wanted, was to have the station area in. And then something a bit more secure for that corner, so replacing that corner and that corner to link up to there will be quite good. So all in all, I probably gained sort of 5 foot. I was thinking about bringing it out a bit more in this corner here to sort of run up, but I didn't want it too tight a curve, and then I can keep my power sources and the HM6000 thing at the back there, and then hide the wires through like I've done in there. It's still got to be neatened up and stuff, but there'll be a way that I could just sort of kind of hide them and keep a lot of stuff like sort of behind the scenes. And then this back scene here then will then stretch round and sort of just cover up this end here. And I'm thinking sort of any live stream angles and stuff I can do from sort of here. Then I've got some workspace in the middle there, so once I can sit through in that gap just in between there. So a bit of a tight squeeze. I can't get past this part of junk stuff first, and then I can walk down the side. I have to crawl underneath this base unit, but once I've cleared that up, I'll then add in another board, so I still have to pile under a little bit. It's a much bigger layout, and definitely once I've got the track down, definitely going to be better for the running, and a lot more camera shots. And then I'm going to work on a lot more detail in the scenery as well, and just kind of try and bring it a little bit more closer to a proper railway layout rather than just all propped up in bits and pieces. So yeah, I just trying to neaten it up. Been quite self-critical in my own videos. No one's mentioned it, thank goodness, how awful the track looked, but it was bugging me, especially when I was doing some shots like kind of around the layout and stuff, following the trains around. You could just see the mess underneath it. I didn't really want to see it, so I thought I would, like I say, add in this extension and hope things are a little bit better. Quite a few people do sort of like GoPro shots and stuff around the layout, and it would be nice that you could have maybe a couple of those in the future, rather than just sitting there and maybe enjoying a roller coaster if I was to put one on, because the amount it was going up and down. Yeah, so I'll keep working. I'm going to leave it for now. This is the last update to this part of the video, and the next will be out in a few days. Take care everyone, and speak to you soon. Bye for now.